Hi guys, my name is Benel Jamosin.
And I'm Lawson Leong.
And we host the Talking Naruto podcast. It's a podcast where we watch every episode of Naruto.
Even the fillers?
Especially the fillers. And we go on Naruto long tangents.
About everything from like The Flash to wrestling
to anime
to feminism
to also Naruto.
Ah!
So please join us on Apple's iTunes, Stitcher, and Spotify.
Because Naruto is the best worst podcast. And Sasuke.
We coming for you.
Oh shit, we don't have a theme song.
Oh shit, you're right. What are we gonna do?
I don't know, like, do we have time to buy something?
No, we just have to riff.
We're gonna just riff it? Oh shit, it's the Nostalgic Front, a podcast from Patrick and Ream. We like movies, TV, and games. Junk food, juice boxes, forgotten things.
Oh wow, that was adequate.
Yeah, that was like pretty good.
Yeah, are we just gonna use it for every episode?
I think we should. I think we have to.
Thank you for listening to the Nostalgic Front. I'm Brandon Ream.
And I'm Patrick Hasty.
Hey, Patrick, how's it going today?
Oh, it is fantastic.
It is.
Yeah.
It is fantastic. It's fantastic because it's another wonderful Thursday.
Oh, Thursday.
You see what I did? Yeah.
Yeah, like that day it comes out. Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. This is a podcast. People can listen to this whenever they want.
They can listen on a Monday.
Mm-hmm.
They can listen on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
They can listen on Wednesday.
They can make up a new name of a day
Yeah.
because technically they're all made
What's the
up.
one from The Simpsons? Isn't it like Clator's Day or something?
Whoa, you can't say that on the air.
Bleep. How's it going? How are you? I'm fantastic. How are you?
I am fantastic. Thanks for asking.
Yeah? Good.
I'm excited for this show.
Ooh, it's going to be a fun one.
Had this movie on the docket for a little while now.
I've had this movie on VHS since 1991, so yeah.
Oh, why didn't you get it? Why did it take so long for you to pick it up?
Well,
I think it was released in like 90.
Oh, because I was a little boy.
Uh-huh.
I didn't have a lot of cash back then, you know. I was
man.
Busy being a child.
Uh-huh. I saw it in the theater.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, well, why don't you tell them what we're listening, what we're watching? Fuck. Why don't you tell them what we're talking about?
Oh, a little film starring Fred Savage.
Fred Savage.
Fred Savage 21.
Ben's
Forever.
brother.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
21's uncle.
Randy's nephew. The Wizard.
The Wizard.
Yeah.
Which is great. You saw in the theater.
Debatable.
You saw in the theater.
Yes.
Damn. What do you remember from it?
Super Mario 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Being fucking jizzing in your shorts.
And the dinosaurs.
Oh, yeah. The big California.
I like the look on your face.
Well, I was trying to think
For
if there
half
was
a second, you're like, was there a dream sequence?
I was trying to think if there was a game, a game played in it that was dinosaurs. I'll tell you one of my. Okay, I want to do Can I read the Wikipedia real quick?
Read that shit.
And then I also want to talk about the IMDb a little bit because this cast, my God, you gotta talk about a bunch of heavy hitter powerhouses of the 1980s.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
That's
here,
the guy. Go ahead.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. The Wizard is a 1989 American family film directed by Todd Holland, written by David Chisholm and starring Fred Savage, Christian Slater, Jenny Lewis, Beau Bridges, and Luke Edwards. It was also Tobey Maguire's film debut. Yeah, baby. Spider-Man himself. The film follows three children as they travel to California. The youngest of the three is emotionally withdrawn with a gift for playing video games. The Wizard is famous for its extensive product placement of video games from the Nintendo Entertainment System. The film was also well known for being the official introduction to Super Mario Bros. 3 in North America. Despite receiving consistently negative reviews, the film has garnered a cult following. Now, I'd say I'm part of that cult following. What about you?
Yeah.
Have you?
I have helped, push along the meme of the Wizard.
Yeah.
Like I've referenced Lucas plenty of times,
And the Power Glove?
Yeah. That YouTube video made its rounds quite a bit back in the day.
Mm-hmm. I wrote a screenplay my freshman year of college, and in it I talk about the Wizard, and I talk about how it wasn't real. In the screenplay, I was very Kevin Smithy, and I have two characters talking about something being bullshit. And they're like, no, man, it's bullshit, like the Power Glove. And he's like, what's the Power Glove? It's like, that bullshit thing from the Wizard that everybody thought was real, and, oh, my cousin has one, or my dad's friend's son has one, but nobody really had it. And then I think I was wrong. I think it really was a thing that people could go buy in the store.
You were.
Yeah.
It was.
But it didn't work.
It was one of the hottest, selling items
Yeah.
of its when it launched.
It didn't work the way Like you could, like in the movie, what's
no,
his name?
it didn't work like that at all.
What's the boy's name in the
Lucas.
movie? Lucas, yeah. He
Yeah.
like drives with it like it's a fucking Wii or something.
No,
you know?
I never had a power glove because I wasn't like that awesome of a kid. You know?
Yeah.
They're pretty expensive now too.
I'm sure.
If you just want to get a power glove to scratch that itch and be like, I got a power glove.
I will no shit you.
It's like $80.
I'm a grown up. I live my life. I work hard for my money. You know? I was watching this movie the other night, and I literally was like, I think I'm going to buy a power glove.
It would look great on any mantle.
It would look great on our shelf, and all I could think of is like when it shows up, and then my wife is like, "Hey, what'd you order? You ordered something? We just got something. What is it?" And then I have to fucking open it in front of her, and then I don't know, explain the 1980s to her.
You're like, you don't understand.
Yeah.
Now I'm playing with power.
Yeah. And then she's like, that's fine. That's cool. I get it. My wife, you know, and she's like, so what'd you pay for that? About $15-20? And I'm like, well, actually, more money than I made this week. But yeah, okay. So
I know the power glove was engineered. There's a game that it actually works with.
Yeah.
Where you're like pretty much grabbing a ball and throwing it.
Kind of like how the gun was engineered for like a duck hunt or gumshoe.
But most power glove applications are you putting in a code and then it just not working right.
Yeah.
Like you have to like make a motion and then like this motion is going to be the A button.
Oh,
you know?
I see.
And then they don't, but they're not consistent at all.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this isn't a power glove only episode.
Yeah, but we're never going to have a power glove episode.
Hey, don't.
So I wanted to,
man, we might.
I wanted to unload.
Please don't forget we did a Short Circuit 2 episode once. So never say never.
Which is a much better movie than this one.
Never say never. Is that
The Wizard?
Kurt Russell? Oh. Okay, I want to talk real quick. I want to go through the IMDb because we just said some of these names here. Fred Savage, biggest star. Now, this was after, what do you got here? Oh, $100 for a power glove right now. Ooh, I'd want the $17.49 one down here.
I don't even need it to work. I want to cut the fingers.
Yeah.
I want to get a power glove and then cut the fingers off.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
What do you think? Yeah.
So you look like a bad boy. That's great.
Yeah. All right. Well,
let me go through these actors.
Yeah.
First off,
you
pointed me to this. The director, Todd Holland, went on to direct tons of great television in the 90s and the 2000s. He directed a bunch of Larry Sanders Show. He's still at it. He's not. He directed a bunch of Tracy Takes On,
Felicity,
Malcolm in the Middle, Felicity, Wonder Falls, Sons of Tucson.
Yeah.
Did I ever tell you about Sons of Tucson?
Yeah.
About how I tweeted that one time that like Sons of Tucson is somebody's Freaks and Geeks, and then the creator of Sons of Tucson tweeted me back, and he's like, "Yeah, me." I thought that was really cool. And then most recently, he directed 2 episodes of Unbreakable Kimberly Schmidt. So like, fucking dude's killing it. Not the finale, but like one of the last episodes of Kimberly Schmidt he's directed. So he's gone on. You know, he got his meager starts with The Wizard. But then the cast is really where it's at. When you're talking 80s movies,
they landed peak.
Yeah.
Fred Savage.
Now Jim.
Fred Savage at the height of his powers.
Which is funny because this was the revelation I had on this rewatch. I've seen this movie 100 times in my life, right? But this was the first time I watched it as my keen eye as a comic, where I'm just looking and I'm reading everything. But
best joke in the movie.
Hold on.
Okay.
I'll stew on it, but hold on. I love Fred Savage. I do not like him in this movie, and I don't like his character in this movie. I think he's playing it the way he's supposed to be, but it's like they wrote his character for a 55-year-old man. It's like it was supposed to be like Paul Reiser today, Like he's so old. He sounds like an old cantankerous, like New York Jewy guy.
Oh, yeah?
But then, like all of his jokes, like they're in the desert, and he's like, Death Valley? Why's it gotta be Death Valley? Why couldn't it be Happy Valley or Have Fun Valley? And then it backs up and you hear a wolf and he's like, good grief. That's like, you're supposed to be a 12-year-old boy, dude. Ugh.
Right? And then he's like, oh, my ulcers.
Yeah. He's like, my grandkids would love it out here, though. What do you best joke? What do you think?
Oh, there's one hilarious moment and another.
There's maybe 2.
But they're doing a movie tour on set at the end once they get to the Universal Studios, and it's just a passing joke where it's like, and over here is a movie with Pee Wee Herman playing the romantic lead.
That's
it's just like a throwaway joke.
Yeah, that's good. Very 80s line too.
Yeah. Who else is in this flick?
The people I really want to touch base on is, okay, so majority of the movie, there's the two storylines happening, or there's the two things that you see. And you're with Fred, who's great. We love him. Wonder Years, Little Monsters. He's gone on. He still has a great career. He's on Friends from College on you know.
And that storyline is...
Well, that story is him. Jenny Lewis, who, if you don't know Jenny Lewis, fantastic singer-songwriter, was the lead singer of Rilo Kiley. Mm-hmm. Still puts out music, had a great album come out this year, so they're all successful.
I don't like Rilo Kiley. Killed Han Solo.
Yeah, for sure. That is so weird that their name is so similar to what they later named a character in a movie, you know? And then Luke, the kid, what's his name?
No,
Jimmy.
He's older. He's his uncle.
The kid's nickname, or the kid's name in this movie, Jimmy Woods. Like the fucking actor, James Woods. Isn't that weird? But you follow those three as they're on their trip out to California, you know? But then also, I think the most interesting and should have been a movie on its own, the Road movie starring Christian Slater and Beau Bridges.
And the Bounty Hunter.
And a fucking Nintendo, yes. But like those scenes are so good. The Bounty Hunter is the grossest, weirdest guy. Mm-hmm. The parents...
Like, he's the grossest bounty hunter since Danger.
Yeah, thank you. You know who was a good bounty hunter, though? Reno Reigns. Remember him from Renegade? That fucker kicked ass. Him and Bobby Six Killer. But those scenes, like, they're in the hotel.
A lot of them just in their underwear.
Yes!
Too. They're just hanging around playing Nintendo in their underwear.
Christian Slater and Beau Bridges are sharing a bed in a hotel, and Christian Slater, like, looks up at the sky, and he's like... I'm sleeping with my dad in a hotel. What am I doing? And then he gets up to go turn on the Nintendo, and Beau Bridges yells at him to turn it off.
Yeah.
And he wants to play Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And then it cuts to the morning, and Beau Bridges has been up all night playing Turtles, and he's like, I beat the Super Turtle at level 2.
Yeah, and then they cut to him being... No, he said beat Mecha Turtle at the end of level 3, and then it cuts to him, and they're on level 1.
Yeah.
A lot of inconsistencies
with like that kind of stuff, yeah. Game. But it was very cool to see Christian Slater say Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in a movie, like, scratched an itch for me.
That was the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles big screen debut.
Yeah, and that was also, I mean, that was it. Yeah, it's, so good. But I love that. And then, so, I mean, just a little bit, you guys got the idea of the movie. They're going out to California because for whatever reason, Jimmy, who doesn't speak all that often, he wants to go to California. Were you confused as a kid and maybe as an adult, the relationship of all these kids?
For a good chunk of the movie.
Because like Jenny Lewis,
I don't remember shit from being a kid. I just remember Super Mario 3.
They meet Jenny Lewis on the road, on the trip. Mm-hmm. And she's just like kind of got a crazy backstory. Her dad's a trucker, but then also
she's working her way home. These kids just get around hitchhiking.
And it's
like
the desert. Mm-hmm. They should all be
They're
dying.
Just walking on the fucking side of the road in the fucking desert.
Savage is wearing like a fucking like 3 shirts.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's the desert. You should have like one of those wrapped around your head to cover your skull from getting burned.
And they keep getting picked up by
truckers and stuff. Well,
people in the back of trucks.
They're on and then they rob them. Those people in the
That's
one truck
so
rob those
weird.
Fuckers. Yeah, right?
Yeah. They pull out, they have a wad of $1 bills.
Yeah.
And then this trucker sees it and he's like, oh, I gotta steal money from these hitchhiking kids, all $13. These guys turn into like ravenous cash monsters at the sight of $13.
When I was a kid, I had as a kid, and I still do. I have a very big crush on Jenny Lewis. I always have. Like, it's one of the few constants in my life. When I was a kid, I was so surprised that they kind of had like a flirty thing between her and Fred Savage, because when this movie came out in 89, I was, 4. So when I saw this movie, started really watching this movie when I was like 6 or 7, I thought Fred Savage was my age. I thought he was like 6 or 7. And I thought Jenny Lewis was like 30. I thought she was like 20 years old. I thought she was like a grown-up adult. And so I always thought it was so weird. I was like, why would she want to... But looking back, they're the same age. They're supposed to be the same age in this, you know? Or they are the same age in this. Mm-hmm. But they have that little will they, won't they. But I love... For the way I don't love Fred Savage's character, I love her character in this. How she's kind of like worldly, but not in a gross way. They never play her up to be gross, which is what they do in a lot of these movies with kids in the 80s and 90s. I think she's funny. I think she's got some deepness and some heart to her character where like she's fucked up with her dad and she lies and then she admits it later and is like, I'm so sorry. Or she's like, I'm sorry, but don't give me the runaround, you know? And she's like, I'm not going to kiss you. And then she kisses him.
I don't think it's weird that they all meet at a bus stop.
Yeah.
Or a bus.
You do think it's weird or you don't?
No, it's very weird that they all meet at a bus station. And meanwhile, the guy that runs the bus station could not give a single fuck about the fact there are 3 kids.
Unaccompanied minors.
Like, of 2 different parties.
Yeah.
One of them that's just been there already.
One of them who is obviously has mental illness.
Yeah, and has a bus ticket for herself.
One thing that I think is so funny in this movie is when they start hustling the video gamers, you know?
Yes.
But they hustle the 2 salesmen who are like old. And he's like, oh, I bet I can't beat you. And that's another when Fred Savage is playing like a fucking 50-year-old. He's like, I can't take you, but my brother over
just
here.
For context, the plot of the movie is Fred Savage's little brother is going to be put into a home because he's going through a lot
Explain
of like,
He's slow and he keeps running away.
Yep, and he doesn't talk to anybody.
He doesn't speak to anybody.
Which we later find out is because his twin sister died and drowned.
And he watched her die and drown and couldn't save her because he was too scared of water.
Yeah, so
it's not like he's mentally challenged.
Yeah.
That's what when I was a kid watching this movie, I was like, oh, he's autistic. That's what I always thought, but he's not. He's more just disturbed by trauma or PTSD.
Yep, and withdrawn.
Yeah.
And,
but he excels at video games.
Yeah. And the family split up because of it.
Yeah. And that's so this is the thing I said about the family that I was so confused by as watching this
half-brothers?
Kid. Here's how it works. So
Christian Slater and Fred Savage are
full brothers.
Full brothers.
And their dad is Beau Bridges.
Yep, and then their mom dies.
Yeah. So there's a lot
Fred
of
Savage is doing okay for how much debt. He's got a dead mom and a dead sister.
That's why he's so worldly, so old, you know? He's like, I buried a lot of souls. But so Christian Slater and Fred Savage are brothers, and their dad is Beau Bridges. Mm-hmm. Their dad marries a woman, has twins, which is Jimmy and his sister who passes away. When the sister passes away, Christian Slater was supposed to be babysitting them, but was off not babysitting them. So Christian Slater has blame in this.
Yeah. Now he's drinking beers and stealing his dad's truck.
Now he's stealing the truck and stuff like that.
In the first act.
And then Beau Bridges and that woman got a divorce, and now she lives with her new husband, who's like a character actor and a bunch of shit, who's a real shitty guy. And has Jimmy living with them, and they're the ones that are going to put Jimmy in a home.
Which is kind of a nice arc because everything is everybody's out in their far different ends of this family.
Yes. They all have their own takeaway from it.
Yeah, and then by the end, it's one cohesive family group.
Yes.
That Jimmy.
Literally at the end. Yeah. Fucking Jenny Lewis is part of this family now. When they're driving back,
she has her arm around them as they walk back from the...
I love the idea of Christian Slater being like, hey,
they're going to lock up
Jimmy.
So Fred Savage just ups and takes them. Yeah, and they jump in the back of a hostess truck.
Because Jimmy keeps disappearing. Yeah. He keeps wandering off because he's trying to go to California.
Yeah.
But they live in Utah. So he just keeps getting lost.
Yeah.
And so Fred Savage decides, I'm just going to take him. So they decide to walk to
the back of a hostess truck.
Yeah. And they got all the ding-dongs.
I have no idea how the guy that's running the hostess.
Yeah.
Because they're in the truck.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wolfing down ho-hos. And there's a line where
the guy makes his first stop.
Yeah.
After the kids are in there. And he's carrying hostess stuff.
Yeah.
How's he get the stuff out of the back of the van without the kids being seen?
In all fairness, there's a lot. I think that's okay. I can spin belief for that.
Yeah.
This is what I don't understand. Why didn't they just get out and wait till he came back out of that store and then get back in that hostess truck and keep riding down the road with him, you know?
Yeah.
Or there's a funny part too where they're walking and it's like almost like, you know how, I don't know what it's called, but like when a scene's starting to end and you just kind of hear something fade out. And Fred Savage is asking him, he's like, so what are you, a ding-dong guy? I'm a ho-ho man. And it's so, it literally fades out on that line. And he's talking to Jimmy. And also, he's not going to answer you, buddy. That guy don't fucking talk.
Yeah.
And so while they're on the road,
Mom hires a bounty hunter.
Who's a real skeevo pedophile type guy.
Mom's got a bounty hunter hired, and Mom's new husband sucks.
Yeah, he's a real asshole. He's the character guy that's in like a ton of movies.
Yeah, and like
TV
King
shows.
of Queens, and he did the voice of Ray from Dinosaurs.
Sure. Yes. That's what he was. That's why I couldn't figure out what he was called. Yeah. So now. Their bounty hunter's trying to go get him. So then Beau Bridges and Christian Slater are like, well, we got to go try to go get him.
Yeah.
And they're in such a hurry to go get him because Beau Bridges has a landscaping company. They're in such a hurry to go get him. They don't even take the tree out of the back of the truck.
Right.
For most of the first part of this movie, they're driving down the interstate with a fucking, like a rubber plant hanging out the back.
I thought it was an antenna.
Oh, really?
At one point.
That's
and then
funny.
I was like, oh, no, that's a tree.
Yeah, it's a tree.
Yeah.
And so then that's that story that I really enjoyed was the Christian Slater and Beau Bridges interacting with each other. And then on the trip, they realized that Jimmy's good at video games. Yeah. It doesn't seem they knew that beforehand.
They didn't, no.
Yeah.
He just starts playing Double Dragon, and then Fred Savage walks by, and he's like, in 4 minutes, he's like, you got 55,000 points in Double Dragon? And then they just start hustling people. Yeah. That's how they make their money to get across country, which I never knew that was a thing.
No, I love the idea of it.
Yeah.
Well, they're hustling.
They're the Play Choice 10 at every fucking store that they go to.
Everywhere in the South.
And there's a group of people ready to gamble outside of every Play Choice 10.
Yeah. He takes the 2 old men, then he takes the bullies.
I didn't see that scene. Is there a scene with those bullies getting hustled?
Yes. He bully, and then the woman, the lady is a character actress too. She runs like a diner, and she kicks them out because they were causing a ruckus, and so she's like, Martin, get these boys out of here again. It's after he takes them for the money, and then they start to like threaten Fred Savage and Jimmy, and then the woman comes out of the back of the restaurant or the diner or whatever, and she's a character actress that's been in a bunch of stuff, and she's like, get him out of here.
And then they find him again,
and then they find him again and steal his hat, and then later. That's a scene that is like serial. That whoever that actor is that plays so there's a scene where when Beau Bridges and Christian Slater are looking for the kids, they stop at a diner or a truck stop and see alone sitting in a booth one of these bullies, and he's wearing the Woods landscape hat. Mm-hmm. And so Christian Slater goes and sits down, and he's like, where'd you get that hat? And he's like, I stole it from a dumb kid. And then Beau Bridges comes over wearing the same hat, and the kid looks up at Beau Bridges and is like, nice hat. And it's like, that actor should be in shit. He should play like Ted Bundy in a movie. He plays like a serial killer, right? But that was fun.
I did love any movie with bullies that revel in being bullies. It's like in the 80s, bullies could really just like
they
lean into it, man.
Yeah, wow, you know, real hard. What was do you know, if you don't, we don't have to Google it, but what was Tobey Maguire's role in this film?
Goon.
Was
uncredited goon?
Oh,
he only popped. He's not in the first scene with Lucas.
Yeah.
Which
and Lucas is like a badass video gamer.
Jimmy's out there mopping the floor with the American Southwest and all these Nintendo haunts. He's whooping all them asses, and then he shows up
in this one little ass town,
and the kid's like, "Whoa, you haven't heard of Jimmy then yet?" Or Lucas.
And then sitting on a porch like a fucking
sunglasses.
Yeah,
he's got a posse just sitting around.
It looks like a scene from like Mad Max. Yeah. You know, like he runs a district or whatever. You know.
Yeah. He's just like the boss hog of the entire fucking state of Nevada. I think is where he's from.
And he's like, get my case. And then they bring out, and he's like, he's got
his name's on it.
Yeah, and
it's a case with. Everybody's seen the scene.
It's like a Case Logic zipper box full of fucking VHS or
he's got that
Nintendo games.
He's got 2 cases then.
Oh yeah,
because he's got the Power Glove
in.
case.
Yeah. That's what you're talking about. The system case.
He's got just the Power Glove.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And while he's getting the Power Glove on, his lackeys are plugging it in, setting up the Nintendo. He's got this whole posse that just
it's so funny.
Does stuff without having to even be told. And that's when Jimmy. He never even plays against him.
No, he's nervous.
He just sees him play one game of Rad Racer, and he's like, I'm done.
Nope, I'm out.
That's it. Fuck video games for life.
Yeah.
And he takes off.
And he wanders off. Now, there's something, I don't know the science of movies, but I think there had to have been I don't think it was that he was just like, I'm not going to beat this guy. It's that Fred Savage really just wanted him to beat this guy. And I think Jimmy started feeling used. And then later, when Jimmy sees Fred Savage and Jenny Lewis being like, when he sees Fred is very touchy-feely with Jenny Lewis, he leaves again. I think it's not so much he was afraid to play.
Yeah. That is true because
I don't think he was afraid to play Lucas.
No,
I think
right.
he didn't like the way Fred Savage was
You're right
acting.
because that's what they talk about when he's out there. That
when they fight,
she's like, "Don't you see? He's worried about losing you."
Yeah,
you know. And right before that, that's when Fred Savage puts his arm around her, and he's like, "Well, you better keep your power gloves off her."
Yeah, and that's the thing. That's why Fred Savage is such a shitty character. Is because he's like like you were saying, everybody has a role. Everybody has a connection to this tragedy. Jimmy, Christian Slater, Beau Bridges, the parents. But Fred Savage seems like unfazed. It was almost like he wasn't even around.
Yeah.
And so like for being such a big actor and such a big, such a quintessential 80s, 90s actor, he's kind of useless in this movie. He doesn't really do much. And so then they finally, they hear about this competition. Lucas is going to be in this competition at the Universal Studios video game competition. So then they go to Las Vegas, where she's from.
Reno.
They get the trucker. I don't know that actor's name, but he's really great. The tall black guy. Yeah. He's in a lot of stuff that's good. They get him.
He is also. Here's what I remember.
Yeah.
He is a detective, or he's the chief in Last Action Hero.
Yes.
He's like Jack Slater.
Yes.
Yeah, with the pictures of donuts in his office.
Yes, that's who he is. Okay,
there.
He's great, but he plays like a trucker friend.
Yeah.
And they take him to a casino, and then Ginny Lewis is
they
on
make
the side.
$400.
Yeah, Ginny Lewis is screaming at him to play craps, and being like, "Let it ride for the hard way," and then he's just like a big dummy looking up and then doing it, and then just keeps winning.
Yeah, basically he's the human form of two kids in a freaking trench coat.
Do you know what I learned at that scene? Maybe stop letting Jimmy hustle Nintendo. Maybe get Ginny Lewis just to go to casinos and start making real money,
Yeah.
Fucking A. And they get kicked out of the casino, but they still get their money.
Jimmy hustle Nintendo so they can prove that he's not weird and dumb.
So that he's not a dummy and doesn't go to the home.
The interesting, that trucker guy.
Yeah.
His truck.
Yeah, his semi.
His semi is Lincoln Hawk's semi.
Whoa,
from over the top.
No shit.
You can even see Hawk trucking on the side of it.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
That truck has been in, his red truck has been in a bunch of different movies. It's in Tank Girl.
Oh, I like Tank Girl. I haven't seen that in years.
Yeah.
We could do a Tank Girl fun size sometime. That'd be fun.
Or just a Lori Petty fun size.
Oh, golly, yeah. Okay, so they start prepping for this competition. And the bounty hunter now is involved.
And the prepping for the competition is one of the best things.
Yeah.
Because they call the
Nintendo hotline.
Yes. And that was a real thing.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
There's a couple of little glimpses in there, but just people in offices taking phone calls from kids and being like, all right, what level are you stuck on? All right, give me a second here. What you're going to want to do is you're going to hit this mushroom.
Yeah.
That's basically...
Well, and that's what's so funny about Ginny Lewis is she's such a great actress as a kid, and she's great in Troop Beverly Hills. She was in Lucille Ball's last TV show. She was great in it and stuff when she was a young kid. In that scene specifically, when she's like on the phone and she's like, okay, I'm in whatever, Castlevania, what are you? Okay, hold on, say that again.
Quest.
Yeah. She's so good in that scene that it blows my mind that she didn't go on to become like a Oscar-winning actress, but instead went on to become like a Grammy-winning artist, musician. It's so interesting. I love her so much. Although she was on Comedy Bang Bang, the TV show.
Yeah.
She was the musical guest once or twice.
Yep.
Okay, so then they're prepping. The bounty hunter almost gets them, and there's that funny scene in the casino arcade where he grabs Jimmy. This boy, he walks in, grabs this little boy. Nobody gives a shit. This pedophile-looking guy. And then Ginny Lewis, to defuse it, yells out, "He touched my breast!" And then everybody pays attention.
And then the cops grab him.
Yeah.
And then carry him out.
Carry him out so fucking weird.
Like they carry him out like
they're gonna go beat him to death in the parking lot. Like one has a leg, one has a leg.
No, like they're doing like a chairlift. Like from a bar mitzvah minus the chair.
Yeah.
That's how the cops are taking him out of the casino.
Mazel tov. And then later he's on the phone and he's all pissy and he's like, got any breasts?
Yeah.
He's a dirtbag too. He feels like, he reminds me kind of speaking of Lost from last week, he reminds me a little bit of, who's the guy? The bad guy, Ben Linus.
Yeah.
He's got a lot Ben Linus quality to him. So then, other hijinks, but they end up at the video game contest, right?
Which is really fast.
Yeah.
Like he shows up and they're like, "You're right in time for the preliminaries."
Yeah.
And then they play Ninja Gaiden. And then they name 3 kids that are in the finals.
Well, jump cuts and stuff like that. I mean, time was taking a little longer than that. You know who I'm interested in? Mora?
Apparently, the original cut of this movie is 2.5 hours.
Oh, fuck. I'd watch all 2.5 hours.
It's got a lot of more Jimmy backstory.
I'm going to actually give them a really good... I'm going to give them a very good compliment that they never use the R word in this movie. I think that's fantastic. I feel like in 1989, you make a movie about a kid who's dumb. I'm surprised
it's not dumb.
No, I mean dumb as in the character that's supposed to be a dumb guy that everybody looks at as a dumb guy. I'm surprised it's not peppered all over this movie, you know?
You call him a freak.
They call him a freak, yeah. I love the word freak. I think it's offensive, I guess, now maybe, but I love, our friend Andrew Klein? Mm-hmm. He tweets every once in a while, look at this deranged freak. And I always laugh every time. It'll be something weird, you know?
Circus folk.
Yeah, anyways.
Carny folk.
Hey, one time somebody told me I should let my freak flag fly. So I hung up a 16-inch flag I have of JoJo the Indian Circus Boy. And I saluted it. Anyways, so they're at the competition. They get into the finals. Now, what's interesting is in the finals, it's Lucas and him back together, and then the girl, who I don't know who she is, Mira or something, and then she's kind of kicking ass. Tell us about her. Let us know her story a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
She worked her ass off to get there, yeah. And she, is really... I wonder if she was, a good actress, or if she was a good video gamer. And
I got a kick out of the host.
Oh, yeah, that
fucker. The video game host? I want his story.
He's me.
All the cocaine he's doing.
He's me. There's a part where he's like, yeah, come on, yeah. I see him bounce around the stage. I was like, that's me on stage, baby.
Yeah. He's doing rails.
Yeah, he's a fucking...
And also, I love the outfits.
Knows cocaine.
I love the outfits of all of the, people there. They got these weird jumpsuits on.
Mm-hmm. And, one thing that's fun, though, is so then they unveil that for the finals... They're going to play Super Mario Bros. 3, which none of us had ever seen in North America.
No.
But that's why
I went to the movie.
You can tell when when they wrote the script, they weren't for sure how the game was played or whatever.
Yeah.
Because there's so many things of when they cut to the family rooting them on, because of course the family all come together kind of to root on Jimmy.
Also, for how good Jimmy's supposed to be,
and
the way he's dying in Super Mario 3 is.
Well, when you've never played it before.
You played Mario. You know the mechanics. They still handle the same.
Yeah.
He
figured out the raccoon tail before anybody else, though. That's the first time you ever see Mario fly. I'm surprised the whole room didn't lose their fucking mind.
And also, it's so weird that, they're in the audience, this is a video game nobody knows, but all of a sudden he's like, get the whistle!
Yes, that's what happened was... Well, no.
Warp!
What I was talking about with since you could tell they'd written the script, but they didn't know the mechanics of that game, because Jenny Lewis so many times says, get the star, but that doesn't really mean nothing. And then...
Yeah, it does, because he's trying to get the stars at the end of the level.
Yeah, but he doesn't get the star in that scene. And she's saying it... No, he doesn't. He gets a fucking mushroom in that scene. He gets a mushroom
to end it. You mean the flashing box?
He gets a mushroom there. And then also...
Well, this movie's just bullshit.
When Fred Savage is saying he's got to get to the warp, they don't even call it a whistle, they call it a flute. They say he got the flute, he can do the warp. I think that's what's announced over the intercom system. They're like, Jimmy's got the flute, he's taking the warp. And then he goes to whatever, World 5 or whatever.
4. Giant world.
What's crazy is that he gets there and his point total doesn't, because they have that weird horse race point total thing.
Yeah.
It barely goes over Lucas, who's in 1-3.
Yeah.
He should have gotten way ahead there, you know?
Mm-hmm. The logic in this movie on quite a bit,
But it was still interesting, and I'll tell you this, because I've seen this movie a million times, but I couldn't remember if he won. I couldn't remember if he won or came in second or whatever.
He wins.
And there is a really heartfelt thing, because, obviously Jenny Lewis and Fred Savage know that he's great at this, but when his parents get there, and Christian Slater and his mom and the fucking boy... They don't know anything about him in video games. So they walk into a room and see their youngest son, who's been very closed off since the death of their daughter,
finding a way to express himself.
On stage, crushing with people cheering for him. Yeah, that's got to be beautiful.
Which says something, because his psychiatrist in the first scene of the movie, basically, it's he's trying to find a way to express himself.
Yeah.
And then his stepdad's just like, let's put him in a home.
Yeah. And so then...
And how's that as a mom, where it's like...
she's
You lost your daughter, and now your only son. You just guess we'll stick him in a home.
She's not. In all fairness, he really got hosed. He didn't have anybody looking out for him, because literally Christian Slater's off. His older brother's off, are pretty fucked up on his own.
Yeah, his dad.
Fred Savage is taking him on the road. That guy's not a good.
Bo Bridges is just throwing his arms up. He's like, well, she's got custody of him.
Exactly, Bo.
If she wants to throw my youngest son in a home, it's what can I do?
He's fucked. The state should have taken him away.
Yeah.
It's it's not good. But by the end, everybody's happy. He wins.
What a great kids movie.
He wins. And gets and takes the championship. Wins in the last moment, because what does he do? He does something in the last second that pushes him over. Do you remember?
He gets the star.
Does he? Oh, maybe he gets the star. All right. But and that pushes him over, and so he wins the whole thing, and it's exciting. What do they win? They win money?
$50,000.
$50,000.
That we never hear about.
Yeah. So
because right after that,
then they get in the car.
Yeah.
And they're driving to go back home, I guess, and now they're all together, or most of them.
And he has to pull over.
They pull over
the dinosaurs,
and then they see the dinosaurs, and they're like, "What's happening?" And then they all piece together the reason the whole movie. The only words Jimmy really said during the movie was California, except for when they're in the back of the truck with the Native Americans, and they say something to him in Native American, and he just goes, "Hello."
Yeah. He says a few other things,
but so they go to this dinosaur world, which this is the fun part. I have been to.
Ooh.
I went to that dinosaur world when I was a kid. I have photos of it. I'll post them on our Instagram.
Those dinosaurs are not to scale, though.
No. But then they go inside of it to the gift shop, and they're like, oh, and they start piecing it together that the family had gone on a vacation
One of
there.
their last times as a family.
Yeah, when they were all happy before his sister died, and there's a photo in his lunchbox that he carries around the whole movie. There's photos of her there. So then he goes up to put all of his photos of his sister. He hides it in the dinosaur.
Basically, what he's been wanting to do.
That's all he's been trying to do the whole time. When he's trying to get to California, he's just trying to make peace with the death of his sister by basically like not spreading her ashes or burying her, but by putting her in a place where she was happy. And then they all kind of realize that, and they see, oh, he's not mentally unfit. He's just been trying to deal with this, and this was how he wanted to do it, and he figured it out. And so now he's got that. He's got $50,000. He's probably going to be a superstar in the world gaming.
His family.
Yeah.
Everybody's had a nice little arc together.
Everybody learned, and so now he gets to go back and just be himself, God damn, that's the Wizard.
Yeah.
What are you got any final takeaways?
Well, let's see. Well, the soundtrack.
Oh, it was a pretty good soundtrack. I wonder if I can pull.
My big takeaway is you can just see how much they tried to make it hip for the kids of the day.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going to get a pairing of an older brother and a younger brother
at
that time period,
you can't do much better than them.
Much better than getting Christian Slater and Fred Savage.
And they really don't even have that many scenes together.
Oh, no, they don't. I'm just saying that like teen
and
preteen, that's crushing it in the casting. And then the soundtrack.
The soundtrack. I've got this.
Got a couple New Kids on the Block tracks on there.
Yeah, but
got some Bobby Brown.
The Bodines.
Got that. Send me an angel.
Yeah. Patsy Cline.
Angel.
God damn, it's a good soundtrack. But yeah, it feels very it doesn't feel, okay, so like, remember how Mac and Me is produced by like McDonald's or some shit?
Yeah.
And it feels very bad. This movie doesn't feel that way. It feels
like a movie that they were trying to make, like, we kind of dug in and figured out what this movie's about. I think they were trying to make a bigger, like a kid's, like Rain Man almost.
Yeah.
Or something like that, with like these.
When did Rain Man come out? Before this or after this?
I don't know.
I wonder.
But they're trying to, I think they were trying to make this bigger movie than it was, and then I think the studio probably just like, you know what? It's got kids in it. It's got video games in it. We're gonna get some money from Nintendo and put Nintendo games in it.
Yeah.
And we're gonna put some New Kids on the Block in it, and then we'll be able to sell it.
Sure.
That's what it feels like it was.
This came out after Rain Man, so it probably was highly influenced by that.
Yeah. So it just seems like one of those movies where the studio just said like, right on top of it.
But I do think it's, I will say as a grown-up, watching it the other night, I did like it, and I think I like it for more than just cheesy nostalgia, because it was a thing I watched when I was a kid. I like some of the character moves. I like the turns. I like the overarching story of like the finding yourself.
I love watching people play video games on movies and TV that have obviously never played video games before, when they frantically are pushing their buttons on a game.
The mashing,
where it's like, he hit the A button 6 times in like 5 seconds while playing Teenage Mutant Ninja. Why would you need to jump that much?
Yeah.
You're hitting the jump button while you're in the middle of the air.
I wonder what happened to the kid that played. I'm gonna look up the kid that played Jimmy too, because everybody else from this movie kind of came out on top, but I don't know if he went on to do much. His name's Luke Edwards, it looks like. Oh, he's a hot guy. Look at him. That's an attractive buddy. He's from Nevada City, California. He's in Little Big League.
Oh, he is.
Damn.
He's the owner kid. I can totally tell by the faces.
Wait, he's the main kid in Little Big League?
Yeah, he's the lead in Little Big League.
That rules.
Where he has to deal with the death of his grandfather and win the American League pennant.
He was in a couple episodes of True Detective. He was in, let's see. Oh, he's in The Super. Remember The Super?
No.
That's good. There's one more movie that I wanted to say that he was in that I thought was... I thought I saw a picture of one that I don't know. But so he's still doing stuff, though. That's great. I do like that. I didn't know his name, but I'm glad. Good luck to you. I hope you come on the podcast sometime. He was also in fucking Newsies. That kid had a great career. God damn.
He's also great in The Wizard.
Yeah, and Savage is one of those people, like I said, he's great in it. I think he was working with what he was given. But he's one of those people that I think has made such interesting choices in life. He directed all these TV shows for years. Now he's back doing TV shows again. I think he's always been good. He's always been great. His films are always good. He hosted SNL. He's the youngest host to ever host SNL. You know that? Like in the 80s.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he was a little kid. I just saw The Wonder Years is on Hulu, so I think I'm going to start watching that beginning to end and see, because I don't remember much of it. I don't remember like every episode,
Yeah, I know a lot of people were talking about The Wonder Years this week on Twitter.
Oh, yeah, why?
They posted a photo of...
the cast. Yes.
Him and the...
Marilyn Manson and Danica McKellar.
We're all hanging out together and took a selfie and posted it online. People were like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, that's cool. Okay,
people were like,
maybe we'll do that some point. Wonder Years.
People were calling for they should do a Wonder Years set in the '90s with them.
With them?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be fun. I could like that. God, yeah. I don't know. I kind of lost my.
So The Wizard,
baby. I like it. I still like it.
Yeah. I don't think it's good.
Yeah.
It's totally watchable, though.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of the hustling stuff, a lot of the stuff the kids are doing, it's like, there's no,
Yeah.
But whatever.
I think, I'll go on the other side.
The fact that you're watching Christian Slater and Fred Savage in a video game movie are going to make it watchable.
Beau Bridges should get an Oscar for everything he's ever done. I love him. I think he's great.
Also, like... that casserole, it shouldn't have been burning like that.
Thank you.
I hate movie cooking mishaps.
You hate that.
I do. It's like, I don't care how bad you are at cooking.
Yeah.
I know it looks good visually when you are opening an oven and smoke's billowing out.
Yeah.
And he's just like, but like, come on.
Yeah, come on.
Nobody's that dumb.
Also, don't ride your skateboard with your brother on your back down the interstate. That's not a good move.
I'm just glad they used the skateboard
finally
once.
After he carries it the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
Well,
they probably put that shot in like way after the movie was done.
You know what they should have done? Give that skateboard to Slater. Let him go gleam the fucking cube.
Yes,
that's the movie.
Dead brother.
Dead brother. Oh God, he's got so many dead brothers.
Yeah.
That's good.
I was thinking It's almost like they just had to throw that scene in at the end of the movie. Like, they were done with everything. Like, it's not even Fred Savage and Jimmy on it.
Mm-hmm.
They just got done with the movie and like, we have him carrying that skateboard around the entire time.
Yeah, we never use it.
never use it. And they're like, all right, well, let's have him going down the highway, the two of them on a skateboard, and then have a truck, a giant fucking truck veer around them.
Yeah. Golly, so messy.
Yeah.
Well, hey, where can the listeners find you on the internet, buddy?
You can find me at Reamcore.
Reamcore. REAMKORE?
Yeah, that's right. Twitters, Instagrams, Facebooks.
Everything.
Yeah. Snaps Chance.
Snapchance, yeah. You can find me at Patrick Hasty. That's at PATRICKHASTIE. PatrickHasty.com for all upcoming shows and dates. Listen to the show, tell your friends, give us a positive iTunes review. If you want to get on the Patreon, we're still pushing for 100 by 100. I don't know if that's going to happen, Ream, honestly. But regardless, we love everybody that is on there already, and we love you for whatever. If you want to buy an ad, if you want to, all that kind of stuff. Tell your friends, be cool, never die, and as always, remember, if you're not an NFer,
you're an MFer. So get the fuck out of here.
Our next movie is named The Wizard, and this is a movie that has everything going for it except for a good script, a believable premise, and common sense. I just liked almost everything about The Wizard. I just liked the danger those children were in as they hitchhiked hundreds of miles and at one point actually used a skateboard on an interstate highway traveled by heavy trucks. Great image for kids that don't want to play in traffic. I just like the stupid and ham-handed so-called humor of the feud between the people who were chasing them. I just like the blatant commercial plugolas for Nintendo video games and the Universal Tour. And I thought the sentimental ending of the film was really a cheap shot. I think that just about covers it.
It's very sort of mean, Vino kind of film.
Welcome to BrainMachineNetwork.com.